Welcome back to Psychiant, the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of the human mind. Today, we are cracking open one of the most intriguing personality types in the Myers-Briggs universe, the INTJ, also known as the architect or the mastermind. Although, if you've ever wondered what makes these strategic, visionary thinkers tick, or if you suspect you might be one yourself, stick around because this is going to be a wild ride. We're talking big picture brilliance, relentless determination, and a mind that's always 10 steps ahead. So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's unravel the enigma that is the INTJ. First things first, what exactly is an INTJ? Well, if you're new to the Myers-Briggs type indicator, or MBTI, here's the quick rundown. The MBTI is a personality framework developed by Isabel Briggs Myers and her mother, Catherine Briggs, based on Carl Jung's theories of psychological types. It sorts people into 16 distinct personality types using 4 dichotomies: introversion versus extroversion, intuition versus sensing, thinking versus feeling, and judging versus perceiving. Each type is represented by a 4-letter code, and today's star is INTJ. Introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging. So, what does that mean in plain English? INTJs are introverts, meaning they recharge in solitude and focus their energy inward. They're intuitive, so they're all about the big picture, patterns, and possibilities rather than just the here and now details. They're thinkers, prioritizing logic and reason over emotions when making decisions. And they're judgers, not in a judgy way, but in the sense that they love structure, planning, and getting things done. Put it all together, and you've got a personality type that's rare, brilliant, and a little bit mysterious. Only about 2% of the population are INTJs, making them one of the least common types out there. Now, INTJs are often nicknamed the architect because they're natural builders, not just of physical things, but of ideas, systems, and strategies. They're the ones who see the world as a giant puzzle, and they're obsessed with figuring out how all the pieces fit together. Or sometimes, they're called the Mastermind, which honestly sounds like they're plotting world domination. And, let's be real, some of them probably could if they wanted to. But seriously, INTJs are defined by their dominant function, introverted intuition, or NI. This is their superpower. It's like an internal radar that picks up on patterns, predicts outcomes, and envisions the future with uncanny accuracy. Paired with their secondary function, extroverted thinking, or TE, they're not just dreamers. They're doers who can turn those visions into reality with precision and efficiency. It's a killer combo that makes them stand out in a crowd, or, more likely, stand apart from it, quietly plotting their next move. Let's break down what makes an INTJ tick. If you're an INTJ or know one, you'll probably recognize these traits right away. First up, they're knowledgeable. INTJs are lifelong learners with a thirst for understanding how things work. Whether it's science, philosophy, or the mechanics of a new gadget, they want to know it all. They're not just skimming the surface either. They dive deep, dissecting ideas until they've mastered them. Next, they're inventive. These folks are idea machines. Their intuitive nature means they're always connecting dots others don't even see, coming up with creative solutions to complex problems. If there's a challenge, an INTJ isn't just going to fix it, they're going to reinvent the whole system to make it better. Then there's theoretical. INTJs love the abstract. They're not content with just what is, they're obsessed with what could be. This makes them incredible at long-term planning and envisioning possibilities that others might dismiss as impractical. And finally, they're driven. When an INTJ sets a goal, good luck stopping them. They've got this laser-focused determination that pushes them to achieve whatever they beset their sights on, whether it's a personal project or a career milestone. They don't just dream big, they make it happen. But here's the thing. These traits don't just show up randomly. They're rooted in how INTJs process the world. That introverted intuition gives them a vision, and their extroverted thinking helps them execute it. Meanwhile, their tertiary function, Introverted feeling, or phi, keeps them grounded in their own values, even if they don't always show it. And their inferior function, extroverted sensing, or SE, well, that's their weak spot. It means they're not always tuned into the present moment or sensory details, which can trip them up sometimes. We'll get into that more later. So, what are INTJs really good at? Let's talk strengths, because this type has some serious superpowers. Number 1, big picture thinking. INTJs don't get bogged down in the weeds. They're the ones who can step back, see the whole forest instead of just the trees, and figure out where everything's headed. This makes them amazing strategists and planners. Number 2, logical problem solving. If there's a puzzle to solve, an INTJ's got it covered. They approach problems like a scientist, methodical, rational, and objective. Emotions, those get checked at the door. Number 3, self-reliance. INTJs trust their own abilities above all else. They don't need hand-holding or constant validation. They've got confidence in spades and can work solo like champs. And number 4, innovation. These folks don't just follow the rules, they rewrite them. Their ability to think outside the box and challenge the status quo makes them game changers in any field they touch. Picture this: an INTJ in a meeting, quietly listening while everyone else argues over details. Then, boom. They drop a single sentence that reframes the entire problem and offers a solution no one else saw coming. That's the INTJ magic right there. But no one's perfect, right? Even the mighty INTJ has their kryptonite. Let's talk about some of their weaknesses. First off, they can be overly critical. INTJs hold themselves to sky-high standards. And guess what? They expect the same from everyone else. If you don't meet their bar, they might not sugarcoat it. And that can rub people the wrong way. Then there's emotional distance. That thinking preference means INTJs aren't naturally in tune with feelings, theirs or anyone else's. They might come off as cold or aloof, even when they don't mean to. Another big one, overanalyzing. INTJs love to plan and predict, but sometimes they get so caught up in their heads that they miss what's happening right in front of them. That inferior extroverted sensing, it's why they might overlook the small stuff or struggle to live in the moment. And finally, impatience with inefficiency. INTJs hate clutter, chaos, and anything that slows them down. If they think you're wasting their time, or worse, if a system's broken, they can get snappy fast. Ever seen an INTJ stuck in a slow line or dealing with a glitchy app? It's like watching a volcano about to erupt. They're not here for it. Now, let's get personal. What's it like to be friends with, date, or work with an INTJ? Well, it's a mixed bag. In friendships, INTJs are loyal, but selective. They don't need a huge social circle. They'd rather have a few deep, meaningful connections with people who get them. Small talk? Hard pass. They want conversations that challenge their intellect and spark new ideas. Romantically, INTJs can be a puzzle. They're not the mushy, overly expressive type. Emotions don't come easy to them. But when they commit, they're all in, bringing that same dedication they apply to everything else. They'll show love through actions, like solving your problems or planning your future together, rather than flowery words. At work, INTJs are the ones you want on your team if you need a visionary leader or a problem solver. But heads up, they don't suffer fools gladly. If you're not pulling your weight, they'll call it out, or just quietly take over and do it themselves. The key to connecting with an INTJ? Respect their space, match their depth, and don't take their bluntness personally. They're not trying to be mean. It's just how their brain works. Speaking of work, let's talk careers. INTJs thrive in roles that let them flex their intellect, creativity, and independence. According to the MBTI experts, these folks are drawn to fields that involve scientific reasoning, complex problem solving, or building something tangible. Some top picks? Plant scientist, studying nature's systems fits their analytical mind. Engineer, whether it's civil, electrical, or software, they love designing solutions. Medical scientist, researching cures or innovations is right up their alley. Internist, diagnosing tricky cases with logic and precision. And architect, literally building their visions into reality. What ties these together? They're all about tackling big challenges with a mix of theory and practical results. INTJs want jobs where they can see the impact of their ideas, not just push papers around. They're not here for busy work. They need purpose. But here's a tip for INTJs. Balance those long-term goals with short-term wins. It's easy to get lost in the 5-year plan and miss opportunities right now. Oh, and don't be afraid to collaborate. Your ideas are gold, but sometimes you need a team to bring them to life. So, if you tree an INTJ, or you want to help one shine, here are some pro tips to level up. First, work on your sensing side. That inferior extroverted sensing means you might miss the details or struggle to enjoy the moment. Practice grounding yourself. Take a walk. Notice the smells, the sounds. It'll keep you from overthinking everything. Second, tune into feelings. Your introverted feeling is there, but it's quiet. Try checking in with your emotions and others once in a while. It'll make your relationship smoother and help you connect beyond just ideas. Third, embrace flexibility. You love plans, but life's messy. When things go off script, see it as a chance to adapt, not a failure. It'll save you a lot of stress. And finally, share your brilliance. You've got a mind that can change the world, but don't keep it all inside. Teach, mentor, or just talk it out. People need to hear what you've got to say. INTJs, you're rare for a reason. The world needs your vision, your logic, your drive. So own it, and don't be afraid to step out of that brilliant head of yours every now and then. Before we wrap up, let's have some fun. Did you know some of your favorite fictional characters might be INTJs? Think Tony Stark from Iron Man, genius inventor, strategic planner, total mastermind. Or how about Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games? Cool-headed, resourceful, and always thinking 3 moves ahead. Even real-life icons like Elon Musk and Nikola Tesla have that INTJ vibe. Visionaries who don't just dream, they do. And here's a quirky fact. INTJs are often the type most likely to over-prepare for everything. Like, they've got a backup plan for their backup plan. Sound familiar? If it does, drop a comment below and tell us, are you an INTJ? What's your favorite thing about this type? We'd love to hear from you. That's it for today's deep dive into the INTJ personality type. If you love this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an episode of Psychiant. Want more MBTI goodness? Check out our playlist on the 16 personality types. Links in the description. And hey, if you're curious about your own type, take an MBTI test and let us know what you get. Until next time, keep exploring the wild, wonderful world of your mind. See you soon.